sole 24 ore. How much of the, grazie, how much of the wing tuning is made by feeling and how much by the Matteo's database?
I'd say the wing, the majority of the trimming is done by the numbers, by the targets. And the comparison that most of the wing guys will give you is that, when a pilot flies a plane, they're not going off field. The whole time they're looking at numbers, instruments, and sticking, pretty strictly to those.
Cam Lewis?
From the host broadcast. Host broadcast, yeah, you guys are now in the Windbender Club, and maybe you could explain
In the what club?
Windbenders.
Is that like the Mile High Club?
No, it's a little bit better place to be. Peter Harkin behind me here. I asked, you guys done any ice boating on this training program? No, we haven't. I mean, that'll be the next step. And I remember Buddy Melgers during, must have been the last campaign, or maybe even before that, invited me, and I wanted to go, but the ice wasn't good. So it's something personally I'd love to do. I don't know if Jake has. Make sure you get Harkin's number here. He's been 120 miles an hour, so I don't think you guys get 120 miles an hour, but you've done that obviously in your plane training. But could you maybe explain to us a little bit what it's like to sail fast boats fast with these sort of wind bending? We really, I understand, I asked Kako, but I didn't get the right answer, whether these are the only two sailboats and software sailboats in the world that can go upwind faster than the wind is coming at you.
Well, the physics is just that we are sailing wind up and as almost not as much as you sail on the ice boat, but I think the boat will probably 1.5 to 2 boats of BMG faster than the wind upwind and go even faster downwind. So,
Matteo, Russell has said a number of times that these boats are not only fast upwind, but they're so fast downwind that if you round the top mark and let a balloon go, that the boat is going to get to the finish line before the balloon in certain circles. Is that true?
yeah,
Is that Russell?
The boat is faster than sail faster BMG than the wind. At least 2 times downwind. And the boat when jibes, you always start even downwind, because even if you turn downwind, the upper wind angle change against you.
Stuart?
Stuart Alexander, The Independent London, for Jimmy and John, I guess. Can you tell us how you try to analyse the risks versus the benefits of being really aggressive in the pre-start?
You're not asking if they're going to be aggressive in the pre-start.
They're not going to tell me if they're going to be aggressive.
You must be a veteran journalist.
Well, at the moment, we think the start line is going to be quite long. So, by the time the boats cross on the initial entry, and also the port tack boat, has a little bit of a advantage by being further down the line. So, most likely there isn't going to be, the boats are not going to intersect on the first initial cross. And then by the time you get out to the starboard tack ley line, it's going to not be a whole lot more time to the start. So in general, there won't be too many maneuvers. And depending on when the boats, get more into starting position on the final approach, there could be a little jostling there. We'll see. It's going to be boats maneuver a little bit differently. We've been, doing our best to try and understand their boat. And this last week we've really been working hard on, getting to know our boat in the starting, procedure. So it's going to be interesting, but I think all the action will happen in the final minute.
Jim, you were famous last time as a particularly proficient starting helmsman. John, you as a tactician are also very, very well known for aggressive pre-start tactics, or talking your skipper, including Paul Caird, in that famous series against Prada that went to 7 or 9 races, right? Went to the 9, was that 9 races?
7.
Was it 7 then? But it went with the whole enchilada and was a famously aggressive series. Tomorrow, you have the starboard advantage. And in traditional monohull match racing, that's pretty bloody important, especially in light air. Is it as important out here tomorrow?
Not really. I mean, the way the rules are now is the port tack entry. You're going to be able to enter down the line about I don't know what it is, 150 meters, 250 meters.
Can you explain that with a...
So you're going to be down the line 250 meters to leeward of the actual pin. So the port tacker probably 19 times out of 20 will be crossing the starboard tacker on the entry. So there really isn't a huge advantage or really any advantage now for entering on starboard.
Just so everybody gets a clear picture of that, maybe you all understand this, but if you don't, the normal starting line, where's another mic? The normal starting line is between a race committee boat and a buoy, as you all know, and the port entry boat comes in from the, if you're the wind, the port entry boat comes in at the pin end, is now on port tack, the giveaway boat, whereas the starboard tack boat, which we will be, comes around the committee boat, comes in on starboard tack with right of way. As John just explained, this time, instead of the port tack boat having to come in here, the race committee is setting another boat downwind here. It's a boat, right? So that the port tack boat doesn't have to come like this, they come like this. So you see they're downwind, and that should, as John was just saying, that should probably mean that this will get them, the port tack boat, easily across. That's the idea, right? Did we just confuse you more? So Jorge Agude, you had a question.
Yesterday you go with 10 people in the boat. I think it took 14. Two questions, one serious. The first one is, what do you think about that? And the second one, after saw that, Larry asked for a slot in the boat.
Is Larry?
Asked for a place in the boat, in your boat.
Sorry, Jorge Aguade from Las Provincias asking, how many people will you sail with?
No, I said you went 10 people in the boat, and I think you went 14. Then what it means for you? And the second question is, did Larry Ellison, after saw that, ask for a place in the boat for tomorrow?
Who wants to answer that one, Jimmy? You.
Right now, we're planning on sailing with 10 people, but depending on the wind conditions, we may increase that or decrease it. And so, we're going to look at the conditions each morning and make a call. Larry, he's pretty keen to sail. He hasn't spent too much time sailing with us. I think he'd like to race, and it's going to be the same call there. He's going to race when he's comfortable to race with us, and if not, he won't.
A couple more questions, Stuart, Shirley?
Yes, for John or for Jimmy, you guys have often talked about the maneuverability, the added maneuverability, acceleration you get with the wing. Given that your boat may be more maneuverable than a Lingy's, does that give you an advantage coming back to the starting line as the boat leading or the boat pushing? Would you like to see yourself in a pushing position where you might be able to scoot around them or really make things difficult?